Welcome back, peeps and creeps. Today we're looking at the 1994 film Heavenly Creatures, directed by Peter Jackson, written by Fran Walsh and Peter Jackson. I think this movie's fantastic. This is the first roles of both Melanie Lynskey, the top woman here, and then Kate Winslet. This is obviously, since it was Peter Jackson, excuse me, it was made in New Zealand. It's based on a true story of a murder that these two girls committed. And I don't know, there's something about this movie I just really like. Based on a true story, Heavenly Creatures, from a secret world no one could see, came a crime no one could believe. And according to IMDb, two teenage girls share a unique bond. Their parents, concerned that the friendship is too intense, separate them, and the girls take revenge. For being the fact that this is the first acting roles in film for both Melanie Lynskey and Kate Winslet, I think this movie's phenomenal. And if I recall correctly, this was one of the first New Zealand films to ever utilize CGI, visual effects, as far as computer-generated effects, not just VFX. Which is kind of funny because then after this movie, since it did so well, the next movie that Peter Jackson did was The Frighteners, which had some groundbreaking visual effects with its ghosts. And then, of course, a couple years later, the same crew of the same writers, the same producers, the same production designers and editors all created the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the original ones, the good ones. This movie really made me like Melanie Lynskey. Like, she's the one who, whenever I see her pop up in a movie, I just automatically like it because I just enjoy watching her act. She's in a bunch of stuff. She's in so many things that I can't even name what they're in. She just pops up, and I just really enjoy watching her. Young Kate Winslet, Melanie Lynskey's awesome. I really liked her on that TV show Togetherness she was on. This movie is actually, when I was looking up information about it, it was actually released on October 14th, 1994, which is my 13th birthday. So this is probably maybe the third or fourth Peter Jackson film I ever saw. Obviously, the first one I ever saw was probably Dead Alive, also known as Brain Dead, and then The Frighteners. And after The Frighteners, became a big fan of him, and I tracked down some of his old work, including like Meet the Feebles and then Heavenly Creatures. And so this copy actually was probably the original copy that I first rented, because this came from Video Library, a rental store, mom and pop video store in Lenexa, Kansas, where I'm from. So when it closed down in 2007, I bought a bunch of his tapes. So most likely this is the same exact copy that I first rented back in the 90s, and then I bought it in 2007. Really interesting true life story I won't go into right now, but you should really look into it. It's pretty cool. Probably one of my favorite Peter Jackson movies. I like The Lord of the Rings a lot. I really like The Frighteners, and of course Brain Dead and Meet the Feebles, and then not Dead Alive, what's the other one? Bad Taste are all really cool too. But I think this is really where he started getting into actual good performances that were just kind of fun and schlocky, but actually had some sort of depth and volume to it. So if you haven't seen this, you should definitely check it out. It's a great film, and more than anything else, it's just the two female leads in it are just amazing. So let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time.